A usted de corazón, muy pronto nos veremos ante el tribunal divino. El mismo juez que me va a juzgar será su juez. Entonces tendrá usted en mí un intercesor con Dios. Palabras de un mártir a sus asesinos. I forgive you from my heart, because very soon you will be tried by the same judge that is my judge. And then I will be your intercessor to God. These were the words of José Anacleto González Flores before he was executed for being a man of faith. He was executed during the Cristero Wars in Mexico. He was persecuted and canonized with 8 companions, all martyrs for their faith. But imagine this love. Imagina el amor que nos dice, no necesito nada, no quiero nada. La única cosa que puedo tener es recíbela ustedes. A love that says, I need nothing, and I want nothing, and I will give you everything, even if it's the only thing I have. Even if you are the one who will destroy me. I don't know about you, but I find that very challenging to imagine that depth of love. Oftentimes when we think about the love that we're called to, we think of the love that we hear in the prophets that Jesus expresses to us in the Gospel of Matthew. When he says, the greatest commandment is to love the Lord your God and to love your neighbor as yourself. But today, we hear a different kind of love. Amarás al Señor tu Dios con todo tu corazón, con toda tu alma y con toda tu mente. Este es el grande y el primer mandamiento. Y el segundo es semejante a este. Amarás a tu prójimo como a ti mismo. Esos son los mandamientos que referencia de amor es de la persona, la capacidad humana. Y escuchemos en los profetas de Israel, escuchamos que amamos a Dios y a nuestros prójimos, como podemos amar. This human love that's referenced in that commandment from Matthew is superseded in John today. Because the referent point for love is not our capacity but God's, what God can do for us. Jesús hace el punto de referencia al amor y la capacidad divina, no humano. Este es mi mandamiento, que se amen los unos a los otros como yo los he amado. He challenges us to love one another as He has loved us. And how did He love us? He loved us by giving His very life for us. By loving to the extreme, by loving to the very end, by sacrifice. And whom did He love? But the very people who persecuted Him. Those who sent Him to death. Jesús nos muestra que el amor no depende de lo que recibimos de los que amamos, sino es algo que damos. Que nuestra capacidad para ser santos no depende de los que nos rodean, sino de lo que hacemos por ellos. Our journey to God is not dependent on what others do for us or what even happens to us, but what we are capable of giving in response to the world. And that's what He did. He lived a life and a love that was extremely simple, with a single purpose. Jesús vivió una vida muy simple con un propósito, nunca para ser amando. Se negó a dejar de amar. He never stopped loving. He refused to stop loving. How transformative did that become for us, for this world? Well, 2,000 years later, we're all here because of that gift that came from that sacrifice, because of that gift that we encounter here. Y su sacrificio no es un testimonio de la debilidad, sino un ejemplo de fuerza y perseverancia, porque Él nunca dejar de amor. Pero este llamado no es solo un testigo de lo que necesitamos hacer. Este llamado, amar sin límites hasta el extremo, es un testimonio del amor que Dios nos da. Porque si Dios nos pide que amemos como Dios, Dios nos ama en la misma manera. What He is asking of us through His example to say, love one another as I have loved you, isn't some unimaginable feat that we have to achieve. It's a statement of His love for us that we have already received. This idea of being able to love something far beyond our own capacity and our own imagining isn't a fairy tale that He's thrown out to us. It's something He's modeled, and because He has modeled it, He has already given it to us. He has expended everything. God has given us all there is to receive. We already have it. We only need to share it. No necesitamos preguntar qué recibimos para amar, porque Dios ya nos dio todo. Jesús sacrificó todo por nosotros. Y cuando amamos hasta el extremo, solo respondemos a Dios con todo lo que tenemos de Él. Por eso nos reunimos aquí alrededor de este altar, porque aquí encontramos el sacrificio vivo y eterno de Jesús. Y a través de esto, Dios nos transforma en su cuerpo. Somos la unidad que existe entre el Padre y el Hijo. Somos la presencia del amor divino en el mundo. Cuando recibimos, como ustedes jóvenes van esta noche, cuando recibimos de este altar, recibimos todo lo que Dios puede darnos a sí mismo. And that is why we come here. To remember what Christ has given us, to receive it again, to know that He gives us His very self. He loves us to the extreme. So even in the midst of suffering, in the unimaginable things that happen to us in our lives, the challenge is to continue to respond in love so that the evils of the world do not take from us what we have been given. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of glorification of God. For He has given us all the love that we need, then to let the world take that from us and get mired in our own hates and our own frustrations and our own bitterness and our own doubts and our own self-loathing, then we've lost track of who we truly are as His children, as the ones who have everything, because we have His very self. José Anacleto González Flores dio a sus asesinos todo lo que él recibió de Dios. Dio su perdón y misericordia porque él supo que iba a estar con Dios como mártir. El deseo de dar la vida eterna a través de sus intenciones. En medio de nuestras vidas, en nuestras familias y comunidades, tenemos tantos desafíos que dicen que no podemos responder con amor. Pero no es el testimonio de Jesús o de sus santos. Es cada momento de cada vida. Tenemos la oportunidad de darnos a nosotros mismos por el bienestar de los demás, por el bienestar del mundo, que seamos testigos del poder del amor, que nunca nada ni nadie pueda destruir. When José Anacleto González Flores gave everything he had to his assassins, he gave them his pardon, his forgiveness. And even more than that, he gave them his intercession because he knew he would be a martyr and he knew he would be with God. And so to tell them, my dying wish is for you to be with me in heaven. Even his sanctity, he desired to share. What freedom he knew because he knew who he was as a child of God who had received everything already that could be given. And so he had the freedom to give it away with great abandon, because he knew what God had in store for his own destiny and future. Todo lo que Dios nos pide, Él ya nos lo dio. Solo necesitamos verlo y vivirlo. So everything that God may ask of us in this life, he has already given. The challenge is to see it and to live it.